Some days your mind doesn't slow down just because you want it to. It keeps going, looping through thoughts, replaying conversations, moving ahead to what needs to be done next, even when you're tired, even when you'd like a moment of quiet. The instinct in those moments is usually to try and stop it, to force calm, to tell yourself to relax, to push the thoughts away. But that rarely works, because your mind isn't the problem. Your nervous system is simply still in motion. When you've been focused, working, thinking, or responding for a long stretch of time, your system builds momentum. It doesn't switch off instantly just because you ask it to. It needs a signal, a small interruption, a moment that tells it gently that it's safe to slow down. I've noticed this most in the middle of ordinary days. Not during long breaks or quiet evenings, but in the spaces between things. After writing for a while, between tasks, before moving on to the next thing on the list. Sometimes I step outside for a minute or two. Nothing intentional or structured. I just walk out into the garden and stand still. There's always birds somewhere in the trees. Even on quieter days, there's a soft background of movement and sound. That alone shifts something. Other times I open a window. I pause just for a moment and listen. The sound of birds, the wind moving through branches, distant, ordinary life continuing. It brings me out of my head and back into the present without effort. And often, it's something even simpler. Standing up from my desk and doing a small task. Putting the washing on, hanging a few things on the line, tidying a surface, not to be productive, but to move. To interrupt the stillness of sitting and the intensity of thinking. None of these things take more than a couple of minutes, but they change the rhythm of the day. What I've come to understand is that calm isn't something we create by force. It's something we allow by changing the conditions. Your system doesn't need a long break to reset. It needs small moments of safety. Moments where nothing is being asked of you. Moments where your attention softens. This is why trying to think your way into calm rarely works. You don't calm the mind by arguing with it. You calm the system and the mind follows. Sometimes that looks like stepping outside and taking a breath of fresh air. Opening a window and letting sound and space in. Letting your eyes rest on something natural, even briefly. Moving your body in small, ordinary ways. These are not dramatic changes, they're subtle shifts. But your nervous system responds to subtlety. Over the course of a day, these small pauses add up. Instead of building tension until you feel overwhelmed, you release it in increments. Instead of pushing through until you're exhausted, you create space along the way. I created my calm between work demands meditation with this in mind. Not for when you have an hour free, but for those in-between moments when your mind feels full and you need a gentle reset before continuing. Because that's what most days actually look like. Not long stretches of quiet, but small windows where you can return to yourself. If your mind won't switch off today, you don't need to force it. You don't need to fix it. You don't need to find the perfect solution. You can simply pause, step outside, open a window, move for a moment, Let your system catch up with you. Sometimes that's enough. Here's a prompt for reflection. Ask yourself, what is your version of a small reset during the day? Something that helps you come back to yourself, even for a moment. Love, Georgia.